Welcome back to Sports Card Indoctrination. I'm Bryce.
I'm Renee.
This is Daniel. Daniel, the 2025 NFL season is finally here. We're at week 1. Games kick off tomorrow, Thursday night. Dallas Cowboys going to the Philadelphia Eagles. And then a special game from Brazil. We've got the Chargers and the Chiefs on Friday night. So we're going to talk a lot on the show. We're going to jump into ranking quarterbacks. We're going to then make some predictions for the season. We're going to open a pack of 2025 Donruss Elite. And then we're going to pick the games that are going. But since we're talking about quarterbacks, let's tell everybody, I've got on my Troy Aikman jersey, and we did a short this morning about Troy Aikman. You want to hold the Troy Aikman card? Troy Aikman was my favorite player growing up, one of the greatest quarterbacks to play for the Dallas Cowboys, an amazing 3-time Super Bowl champion, and we talk about him on one of our shorts. So people should go check that out. All right, well, let's talk about quarterbacks. Are you ready? So what we've done is we've laid out a bunch of the quarterbacks, not all of the quarterbacks, but a bunch of them. And we've laid them out in last year's fantasy stats order. And again, some people we don't have on here because we just don't really want to talk about them, and they're further on down. But there's some other people that didn't do very good fantasy-wise last year. Well, like Michael Penix, he didn't play until the very end of the year. And Dak Prescott, he got hurt. But no, we just wanted to kind of start off talking about the quarterbacks, a little bit of fantasy rankings, I guess, a little bit of just kind of what we think is best quarterbacks. I don't know, Renee, I guess maybe the first thing would be, and we can do this from a fantasy standpoint, or we can do this from sort of a, MVP type best quarterback standpoint, with right at the top with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. You've got 3 quarterbacks that have all won MVPs. I think Burrow's won MVP.
I don't think Burrow has.
Okay, but he definitely could have last year. He played at an MVP level.
Absolutely.
At the same time, of those, Burrow's the only one that's been to a Super Bowl, and Allen and Lamar haven't been to Super Bowls yet. So, I don't know. Kind of what's sort of your take on those 3 quarterbacks and
and where do you put Mahomes in there? Obviously, he doesn't meet their fantasy stats, but he closes games out and wins games and wins close games. I mean,
yeah, I think it's one of those things where
I think he has to be up there with them.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I will say that, in our family fantasy league that we're doing with Daniel, I drafted Lamar number 1 overall, and then ironically, I came around in one of the later rounds and actually was able to get Jared Goff as my backup.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 1 quarterback league. The league I'm in for work, we get 2 quarterbacks, and we're drafting that soon. So, which should be interesting. But yeah, I do think there's quite a bit of a difference between, sort of if what we're talking about is best fantasy quarterbacks versus, hey, who do I got to go win 1 game. I mean, I don't know how Patrick Mahomes has to be. If you want to go win a game, he's got to be the player that you're looking to.
For sure. Did you want to do some tiers or?
Yeah, that might be a good way to do it. And we don't even need to, we can move people off the board if we kind of want to sort of pull some people off the board.
You didn't pull JJ McCarthy either.
Yeah, we didn't. So we didn't really put quarterbacks on here who either who didn't really play a whole lot last year, or some of the ones that switched teams. Geno Smith, we don't have him here. Again, it's hard to know whether Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, are they going to really be able to succeed with their new teams or not?
I don't think Sam Darnold's going to do what he did last year.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big questions I have, and I think this is, I'm very curious what your thoughts on Jaden Daniels are. I'm very high on Jaden Daniels, so I don't want people to think I'm a hater. But I will say that last year, C.J. Stroud had all the same hype that Jaden Daniels did this past year. And heading into year 2, everybody was like, CJ Stroud is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had CJ Stroud as my quarterback in both my fantasy leagues, and I was very terrible.
Yeah.
Now, the flip side of all of that is CJ Stroud, they again won the division. They went to the playoffs. So, it's certainly not like he was bad, but I am curious what that's going to mean this year for Jaden Daniels, for Bo Nix. Are they going to have this step forward? And is Daniels really going to cement himself in that top tier of quarterbacks, or is he going to regress a little bit like Stroud did? And still, Stroud's a good quarterback, so I don't think anybody's saying Stroud's not good and not the future in Houston. But they're also not putting him up with Lamar and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow.
Right.
And
yeah, it's hard to know.
And kind of the same thing with Michael Penix. I mean, he only got to play a little bit, but also he played really, really well when he did play. So, do you want to? We can kind of move some of these guys around a little bit so we can kind of build some tiers. So I'm gonna pull people off of our mat a little bit to be able to kind of start talking tiers. And maybe I guess what I might do is look at this from the idea. I would think that from sort of more of a quarterback ranking as necessarily a fantasy stats. I mean, wouldn't you think? I mean, these 4 quarterbacks are tier 1, right? I mean,
yeah, and I think maybe not necessarily fantasy related. The other 2 that really get a lot of fantasy points, Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels, because of their legs. Jalen Hurts has a tush push, so he's scoring a bunch of touchdowns. So those 2 are definitely up there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think
Herbert has still not really done a whole lot.
Yeah, it's funny because I almost even might put Herbert along with someone like Lawrence in terms of saying, okay, they have all of this potential and they've had some playoff success, but they've not had a lot of playoff success. And, really, I do think you've got, your Drake May, Michael Penix.
All the rookies
Bo
did
Nix.
better than I thought they would do.
Oh, much better. CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams. I mean, we kind of have this sort of group of quarterbacks that are very, very young. So I'm not, we kind of have our tiers over here. And the funny thing is, I think Jaden Daniels, people have really jumped him over to this veteran tier
but it's only been 1 year. Like, they would have put CJ Stroud over there his first year, right? Going into his second year.
I almost kind of want to make two tiers. Like
rookie rankings.
And that's almost, like what I would call hey, they haven't proven it yet. They haven't proven it yet tier of players. Versus, on the other hand, we've got, Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl, albeit he didn't win. Matthew Stafford has been to a Super Bowl. And won, although he's kind of hurt. Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl and at a time was one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL. He just, has very much fallen on hard times. And then you've got some other people that kind of like, well, what do we think? Brock Purdy, is he really that good? Tua, can he stay healthy? Dak, what in the world is he going to be able to do? Jordan Love, will he take that next step to become one of the top quarterbacks? What about Kyler? And then, of course, Baker Mayfield, very, kind of up and down and sometimes great fantasy success. So I don't know. I kind of feel like this is sort of the way I think I might somewhat rank is, hey, let's put our rookies and or, early. I guess these guys are all they're all second or third year quarterbacks. And I think, I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think if I was going to rank these second or third year quarterbacks, I would basically go Daniels, May, Stroud, Nix, Penix, Williams, just by the success that they've had so far. Do you kind of disagree with that?
I think Penix is just so unknown. He played Again, how many games did he play?
I want to say he played 3.
Did he? Okay.
But I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. I'm sure.
We're kind of agreeing that, right? We have these 4 sort of their own, a tier to themselves.
Yeah, if we're talking just this year, I would definitely
not put
move
Rodgers there.
No.
Right? Who would you put if we were trying to sort of build a top 10 of quarterbacks? Who do you think? And maybe I'll do that. Let me pull our rookies even further over to the side for a minute. Our young quarterbacks. Sorry, second year. So if we're trying to build a top 10, do you
without the rookies?
Well,
or
I mean, I guess
years,
the question is, do you think Jaden Daniels, has he done enough that if you're doing your top 10, are you willing to move him into the top 10 of quarterbacks?
I mean, I think you could today, maybe even him and Nix, because Nix did so well last year. But we'll see how the season goes. I think they performed better than some of these other guys. And then Baker, he's been up there with the Bucks. So
Sure.
do you think I don't love Baker, but I do think he's done well, and if Tua can stay healthy, yeah.
I think if I was trying to make a top 10, I probably would not put Bo Nix to that level yet. Okay. I probably would put Daniels. And then I think my struggle would be I probably would pull these guys off. So my question would really be, would it be? I think
you don't think Dak is a top 10? I don't think Trevor Lawrence hasn't done anything.
No, I think so. For me, I think that I think Justin Herbert would be.
Okay.
And so then I think it's kind of that question of, Baker. Is it Mayfield?
You have the 10th guy, Dak? Right?
Is it Tua? Is it Love? Is it Lawrence? Or is it, well, or even, I guess, even
Purdy's been to a few Super Bowls.
So. Yeah, he's had a lot more playoff success. Now I think a lot of that is the coach and the organization that he's with. But
sure.
Yeah. So who do you think you would? First of all, I guess, do you agree with the top 9 that we have there, or and then who would your 10th be? And maybe it would be a Drake May or a CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I don't know.
I definitely
think a lot of these guys are similar, right?
Very much. They all have a lot of questions, and they all, I think, some of them, when you look at someone like a Purdy.
I was going to say the only one with a ton of success is going to be Purdy, but he also has, look, how would these guys perform in that spot?
In that system, exactly. And then I think in the same vein, I think you've got someone like Tua and Dak. Well, can they stay healthy? That's hard to know.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've got Mayfield, just has a lot of inconsistencies. Again, kind of the same thing Jordan Love. I mean, I really do think there's
Who won a playoff game last year? Did any of them?
That is a very good question.
These didn't even go.
I was going to say, yeah.
I mean, Dak was hurt. That's
right.
Did the Chargers go to the playoffs?
I'm fairly confident that the Bucks made it to the playoffs and lost in the first round.
I don't know. I might pick Dak just because he's our quarterback. What would you pick?
Yeah, I think that if I was trying to build the top 10, I think this is the top 10 that I think I would build.
Okay.
It's fun to debate.
Yeah, it is.
And
we'll see how the season goes. Maybe we can re-rank.
We're excited that this predictions are about to be over, and it's time to get down to actual games. All right, now that we have all of the quarterback stuff figured out, Daniel, your mom and I want to talk about our Super Bowl predictions. I wonder if you have a Super Bowl prediction, but Renee and I have been talking, and it's funny because we are predicting the same 2 teams going to the Super Bowl. We have got the Bills and the Lions, but we're flip-flopped on who's going to win. Renee, what do you think? Who's going to win?
I'm picking the Bills to win.
Okay, why?
I just think it might be their year. Mostly I like them and I hope that they win.
Sure.
But I think it might be them or Baltimore.
Okay.
From the AFC.
Daniel's getting a little anxious, so I'm gonna do Daniel. If these are our two Super Bowl teams,
yes.
who do you think is gonna win? Which card do you want? You want that card?
That's my guy.
He picked the Bills. I'm actually going the reverse. I'm going the Lions. I think the Lions finally break through. It would be an awesome Super Bowl because you've got two teams that have never won the Super Bowl. The Lions have never even been to the Super Bowl. Of course, the Bills are the reverse. The Bills have been 4 times and never won. And I don't think there is any team that has been to more Super Bowls without winning one. So you'd have the matchup of been the most times without winning versus never been before. And either team would be winning their first Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, I really hope it's someone like them that goes and not Eagles, Chiefs again. Although I do still like the Chiefs. You never know.
That's true. All right. Sounds good. Daniel, can I have this back? How about I trade you?
No, Dad.
We finally got our hands on some 2024. Yeah, thank you. Some 2024 Donruss Optic. We went to where was
Elite.
it? Was it Donruss Elite, not Optic. Sorry, Donruss Elite. Donruss Elite. We went to, where did we go? We went to Walmart and we found some value packs. And we were also able, off of Facebook Marketplace, to get a mega box. So we've been so excited. We've been going through this. I am going to open a pack, and maybe Daniel will even trade me his pack and let me open his pack, and we can see what we got. But we're very excited. Oh, here is, they are doing, again, Super Bowl reporter. I don't know if you're old enough to be eligible to be a Super Bowl reporter. We're going to have to try to figure that out. But kids, check out the Super Bowl reporter thing that you can find in these packs. Ooh, this is awesome. I did it backwards, so, no suspense here. But we got a Bucky Irving green. This is numbered to 999. That's pretty neat. We got oh dear, Renee's going to be very upset. We got a Micah Parsons as a Cowboy.
We got a lot of Micah Parsons cards.
We have way too many Micah Parsons cards. We got a Drake May. That's pretty cool.
I think I still feel better about that than when you're going to open them.
It's going to be
Green Bay.
I was going to say, as I'm opening Green Bay, and we got a Josh Jacobs card, so not quite the same. And, Dave Craig. I don't think it's Craig, but I'm not sure. An old school. This is an old school Seattle Seahawks. That's cool. Daniel, fun cards. We've got quite a few more packs in here. Not sure when the rest of the 2025 cards are coming out. So we may have to ration these, and we may have to go back to opening of some 2024 cards before this is all done. All right, well, I'm going to make you a little bit angry again, Daniel, because I'm going to take your card away because I want you to do predictions. So here's we're going to do it again. This is for the upcoming game. We've got Cowboys at Eagles. And Daniel, what are you going to decide? Who do you want to win? Do you think the Cowboys are going to win? He does! The Cowboys! Daniel, I
have a feeling he picks the one closest to him.
I think so too, but that's why I was kind of shuffling them randomly. So, I do think there is a chance that I meant to look up this stat before the show and I didn't get around to doing it, but how many teams that win a Super Bowl and then open the season on Thursday night end up winning that game? Because I do think there's a bit of an you can have some emotional letdown of raising your banner and slow start and all that.
You also have neither team's starters have played at all.
Right.
And Dak hasn't played since November of last year?
Yeah. So
October? I don't remember.
I don't know.
It's going to be kind of sloppy.
Are you picking the Eagles?
Sadly.
Sadly, I think I'm picking the Eagles too. I really hope I'm wrong. Daniel, I hope you're the one that is celebrating on Friday morning. Well, we'll all be celebrating in this house because we're all Cowboys fans. But that you'll have gotten your prediction right, and your mom and I will have gotten our predictions wrong. So, all right, I've randomly, I don't even know which card is which here. So,
Chiefs Chargers.
Chiefs Chargers.
Okay.
Daniel, who? Let's put it this way. Oh, now everybody can see. Are you going to pick the Chiefs?
Oh, Chiefs!
You picked Mahomes and then you threw him on the floor. Oh. Oh, well, can you hold on to Josh Herbert for a little bit longer before throwing him on the floor? Renee, who are you going to?
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert.
This is the Brazil game?
This is the Brazil game.
Oh. Gosh, I don't know.
So I think I'm going to go with the Chargers. And honestly, it's not because I think the Chargers are better than the Chiefs. Although maybe ultimately they have a better team. The Chiefs just somehow seem to do it in the playoffs. But the Chiefs seem to get off to slow starts. And I don't know. I feel like they, if it was anyone other than the Chiefs, I would be talking about a Super Bowl hangover. Because quite often teams that lose the Super Bowl kind of have a bit of a hangover. I don't know that the Chiefs will truly have that. But I think they're going to get off to a slow start. And I do think that Harbaugh is going to have the Chargers playing really, really well. So,
yeah, I'll go Chargers too.
Okay.
I just kind of like the Chargers and the Ravens and the Bills and the Bengals. I just like to see all of them.
So Daniel's picking against us in both games.
Oh my goodness! Although we'll still be rooting for the Cowboys to beat the Eagles.
Of course. All right. Well, we'll see whether we can pull it off. We're planning on doing another show that we'll release on Saturday where we can talk about the Thursday night and Friday night games and maybe do a little bit more previewing of the games to come. And then in future weeks, the show that we release on Wednesday, we can talk about our fantasy teams, talk a little bit about Daniel's fantasy team and how your fantasy team is doing and top fantasy performers. And we're excited as people put out more cards throughout the season. We'll open lots of more packs of cards. And yeah, just do all kinds of other fun shows in the coming weeks. All right. Thanks, everyone.